There was a meditation I had back in March of 2025 that cracked something open in me. And after that, reality has not felt the same. Hi, I'm Alexa Unplugged, and if you're new to my channel, I discuss my spiritual journey and all of the crazy shit that I've been experiencing. This story is long overdue, and if this sounds like your kind of video, then stick around because it gets a little crazy. Okay, so between the period of January 2025 to March 2025, I was going through this period of meditating for 30 minutes to an hour every single day because I was dealing with dysphagia. And if you don't know what that means, it just means the ability to not swallow food. I couldn't swallow food, so I was on this liquid diet, and that brought me to looking into how the mind can heal the body because I didn't want to go to a doctor. I didn't want to get on medication. So I started doing these meditations, thanks to Dr. Joe Dispenza, by the way. And because I was committed to meditating every day, eventually I knew something was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. Fast forward to March of 2025, me and my partner are sitting on the couch having a conversation, and then out of nowhere, I start to feel this heaviness in my chest. And I can't necessarily differentiate love from, the grief feeling. I feel like they're very similar. Like, you just feel it right here. I don't know if you can relate. Everybody's different, but I usually feel love and grief in the same place, the heart. So I felt this heavy feeling and I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I felt some love. Like, as she was talking to me, I was feeling some sort of love, but she said, why don't you meditate and figure out what it is that you're experiencing? Bet. So I sat on the couch and I closed my eyes, and within 2 minutes I get immersed into my meditation. Like, mind is clear. I just fall deep into it. Next thing you know, I start to feel this sadness rise, and it makes me want to cry. So I'm trying to suppress my tears for some reason. But she's also meditating and I didn't want to disrupt her meditation. So eventually I start sobbing because I have to let it out. And as I'm sobbing, this sobbing starts to get more and more extreme, like very overwhelming. And so I let it out even more. And as I'm crying, with every inhale I took, I started to feel love pouring in. With every breath I took in, love, love. And as I was exhaling this emotion, I felt grief exiting my body. And I wasn't necessarily thinking about anything that could cause this grieving, but maybe it was just pent-up emotion that I've been storing, and maybe that's what caused my throat to stop working the way it should. So as I'm feeling all of this love, it felt like a balloon, right? Like somebody's blowing into a balloon, and this love is just expanding and expanding and expanding to the point where I open my eyes because I don't know what's happening. My brain can't process this emotion of love. And it wasn't just love. It was like something I've never felt before. It was like an unconditional love. I don't think I've ever tasted that in my life until that moment. So I feel this unconditional love just pouring in me and growing into the point where I stop crying and I start laughing. Like somebody told me the funniest joke I've ever heard. It was like my body's response to what this unconditional love was. And then from laughter, it went back to crying. And then from crying back to laughter. It felt like this spiritual psychosis just took over. And I didn't know what to make of it, but I did feel very high. I felt very high. I was just like, what is going on? Did I take something? So things started getting even weirder. There was a moment of just quiet and calm after all the laughing and the crying. And I start thinking about people in my life, like my family, my friends. And with every person that popped up, I got this sort of information about them on an energetic level. It wasn't like verbal. It was like, I know. if that makes any sense. For example, like my brother, he's to himself a lot, and I've always wondered why. And when he popped up in my mind, I just knew why. Does that make any sense? Like even my partner sitting next to me, like I got information about her in that very moment, and when I got out of the meditation, I communicated things to her that she needed to know. And somehow it resonated because I kid you not, 8 months later, she had a moment. And it aligned with what I told her that day, which is crazy. So I knew that I was plugged into this power, this connection that's connected to everything, even people I didn't know. Like, I just felt so much love in that moment. And I kid you not, after that experience, this high lasted like a week. I just felt high on love. I loved everybody. I loved everything. I felt so happy. I felt so calm. I didn't feel like Alexa. I felt like pure energy that just cared about people. God. I guess I felt like God. Because I do believe that God is within its creation. God is within its creation. It's not male or female. That's what I've come to learn. And through that experience, I feel like I just had a taste of God. And I learned that love is not just a feeling, but it's knowledge, it's connection. Once you're in that highest, purest form of love, it's information. Okay. What I also learned from that is because God is within all it's created, we are all connected. And so when you're in that unconditional loving state, you're connected to everything and everyone. So when that meditation ended, I knew something shifted. Something was different. My body also said, you're healed. We're done. Like, the work is done. And I started introducing like solids back into my diet. And yeah, my swallowing was pretty much back to normal after 4 to 5 months. And so after that, like, it was that feeling that I experienced was something that I was chasing. Like, I wanted to feel that again. And in my meditations, I would look for it. I would yearn for it, but it didn't come. Not every meditation is the same. In fact, they're all different. Fast forward to after this whole experience, I am called to move to California. When I say called, I mean just in my heart and soul, I was yearning to get out of Florida. And so was my partner. So we decided to get an RV, and that's actually another magical experience that I'll link here so you guys can see how all of that unfolded perfectly. We moved to the West Coast, and during this journey, we do have a channel, you can check that out, but a lot of crazy stuff happened on that journey. It was like life was testing us to see how bad we wanted it, and we knew we were being tested, but it was probably the most magical, transformative trip that I've ever taken in my life, and it lasted, I believe, 12 days. We stopped in different states, and I'll tell you this, every state felt different energetically. It was just different energy in every state. It was, I don't know, after that experience that cracked me open, I just felt very sensitive to energies. So I start working, right? I start working, and I have my car, which is a Mazda, by the way. And it's a 2024 Mazda. And one day I'm driving on the highway trying to get to work. Next thing you know, my Mazda stalls on me on the highway, and I don't know what's going on, but I had to pull over to the nearest shoulder. It was very scary. In this moment, my intuition said, don't worry, we're okay. And yes, this is scary, but something is coming out of this. I just knew it. I knew it. So I pull over, get towed to the Mazda dealership, and they keep my car, go back to work. They give me a rental, of course, and I talked to one of my coworkers about it, like what happened, and she goes, oh, your car might be a lemon. And I'm like, a lemon? What is that? So I look into it, and yeah, I shoot my shot. I call a lawyer and I tell them what happened. And so they get the process rolling. I'm gonna make a very long story short because I still have ways to go with with all of this. Mazda sent me a settlement check, and it was a good amount. It was a good amount. Mind you, they fixed my car, they replaced the transmission, so my car is good now, okay? Now, let's fast forward. But before I do, I actually want to get out of here, out of my RV. I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm gonna go grab a bite. Oh, it's actually a chilly day outside. We're in spring, but it feels like winter's still out here. Gloomy day. I love it though. Just to preface this before I jump into the next crazy thing that happens, me and my partner are ambitious. As you can see, we got an RV and we drove to California because we want to change things in our life. Because I started making really good money out here, we were wondering, where can we invest our money? Like, what can we do with the money that's sitting in our savings to help make it grow? So we had this idea, and I'm not going to disclose what it is because it's still coming to fruition. So I'm going to be a little vague about this. But we had this idea like, okay, we want to do this. We go to Los Angeles, that's where her aunt lives, and we decide to just hang out for the weekend. Now, I have plans on Sunday to drive back to the Bay Area because it's a 4-hour drive and I just want to chill on Sunday, right? That next morning, her aunt makes us coffee, croissants. I'm like, oh man, like, we're gonna stay here another hour, 2 hours. I wanna hit the road, so let's just eat and then we'll leave as soon as we're done eating. Here goes my intuition again. The God within me that's speaking louder than ever says, just stay, just hang out, just relax. What's the rush? You get back to the Bay and what are you gonna do? Stay at home, not do anything?
Travels looked fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Were you guys in Florida?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Orlando and Melbourne. Yeah, get out of the cold for a little bit.
Some more.
Yeah. Good luck. Nice seeing you. Thank you. Right, picking up from where I left off. So yeah, some things like stay, just stay. There's no rush to get back, and I honor that voice, and I know that voice. We're buddies ever since that experience. So we're hanging out, we're having conversation, and then her aunt tells us, oh, I got this. Me and Maria look at each other like, oh shit, like that's awesome. And it just so happens to be the same thing that we were discussing, like something that we wanted to invest in. So to make a very long story short, her aunt was open to us sharing this investment and making something out of it. And once we all like confirm that that we're all on the same page, is something we want to do, nothing but excitement and joy filled the room because it's like, all right, we're in this. But the money that I had in my account for my savings, we took a trip to Florida to visit family and we took a whole month off. So I didn't think anything of that, but we spent a lot of money out there. So eventually her aunt tells us how much this investment is. It finally arrived, right? This is before I actually get my Mazda settlement, and it just so happened to be the exact amount that Mazda was sending me. So it worked out perfectly. It's like, okay, we got the investment, it fell right into our laps. We didn't have to do any work to get this. I have a settlement to just cover all the expenses we need. So that happened, and it's still currently in the works. Like, we're making something out of it, and I'm so excited. Guys, we didn't chase this opportunity. We didn't force it. We were very clear about what it is that we wanted, and it just came to us. I want to highlight that. Like, it's like things that we started thinking of would just pop up into our reality. Even with me, like, it's so crazy. Even in my work, like working in California, I start my next contract, and the people that I'm working with, I felt like I've known them. I felt like I've known them in a past life. 2 people in particular, like people that I've known. That's something else that was weird. Like, it felt like a parallel version of friends that were kind of equal to the ones in the East Coast where I'm from, specifically New York. So that's something else that was a little trippy. And when I say like I've known you in a past life, I mean like I am so comfortable around you. Because it felt like a childhood friend. Like I don't know how else to put it. I really don't. But on that subject, I feel like any place Well, to put this into perspective, Florida, California, they're like on opposite sides of the nation. This world is so small compared to everything that we're surrounded by, right? Like galaxies and other planets. Of course, we would see a mirror of people in a different location, or experiences, or environments that just feel so familiar, and it reminds you of where you come from, your home. This next part of the story gets a little fun. Where my friend invites us out to this like DJ event, right? We show up and we start off like this, like let's start setting intentions when we go places, because we know how powerful we are, and everything that's happened to us so far only proves that this life is a video game. It's not real like I used to think it was, especially after that experience I had. So my partner's like, let's get some free drinks and free dinner. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna have free drinks and free dinner. So we visualize, we believe it's gonna happen, we hold hands, we say it out loud, and we really feel the feeling, and we let it go. So we get inside this building and we say hi to our friends, and we go to the bar, we order our drinks, and then my friend's partner comes running over and she's like, no, I got it. She pulls out her card and she pays for our drinks, and me and my partner look at each other like, you see? In a very humble way, okay? This isn't arrogant. This isn't like, you know, like, oh yeah, we did that. No, this power, this universal power is doing all of this, and it's responding to our minds. So we go to this Mexican restaurant after that. We eat, have a good time. It's time to pay the check. I go to the bathroom, come back out to my partner, like, all right, here you go. Here's the card. Let's go pay. She's like, don't worry about it. They paid for us. And I was just like, like, these are the things that I'm talking about. And I have endless stories of these mini manifestations, but this is just all a part of how I feel the universe is responding to me ever since that experience. Like, this has just been non-stop. Here's something else. So another crazy thing that I experience out here, specifically in California, whenever I'm driving in my car with my partner and we're having a conversation about something very specific, especially if it's an emotional conversation. I don't mean sad, I mean like, oh, we get excited, you know, like we're very in tune with magic. And when I say magic, I'm just talking about outer forces of the universe. A song on my playlist will match the conversation we're having, if that makes any sense. Like, I remember we were having a conversation about our move to California and how magical it's been since we've gotten here. And just being so thankful and grateful that we finally got here. And this song on my playlist, what's his name? But the name of the song is called Run Away. What's his name? Him. The name of the song is called Run Away. You can listen to it to see what I'm talking about. It just starts playing in the background and I'm just like, I know that one was a little minor, but like this happens all the time. Now, this is where things start to pick up, okay? And this is the most recent thing that has happened to me, right? We go back to Florida to visit family. I feel Florida does not feel like home. Yes, our family is here. We love them. We used to live here for a while. How could it not feel like home? What does it feel like exactly? It feels like a place to rest. It feels like a vacation. That's how it feels like to me. It feels familiar but strange, if that makes any sense. You know when you go on vacation and you go somewhere new and you're just, you know, you're in love with the scenery and stuff and you feel nice there, but you know this isn't home? That's what it felt like. Having a good time, enjoying family. And me and my partner stay at my mom's house. In the morning, you know when you have vivid dreams? I remembered having this dream. And I was back in Oakland, which is where I'm near here in California. And in this dream, I'm looking outside a window and I see snow. It's snowing. And in my dream, I'm aware that it's April. And I'm like, there's no way that it's snowing in April in California. I wake up and I share the dream with my partner. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, that's so odd. Make nothing of it. That same morning we go to the kitchen and my niece is making pancakes. But not just any pancakes. Can you guess what I'm about to say next? Snowman pancakes. And I'm like, that's just so random. Now I'm thinking, okay, that's probably a really, really big coincidence, because I didn't even know what that really meant. And so later that day, we're driving on the road and a car merges in front of me with the license plate Snowbird. And my partner and I look at each other like, whoa, snow seems to be the theme for you today. Now I'm really thinking, okay, this can't be a coincidence. The universe is speaking to me and it wants me to understand something. So I love my partner for this very reason, because she's so in tune with me. She helps me get deeper into things that I don't necessarily understand. So she asked me, she's like, what does snow mean to you? Like, what's popping up for you? And the first thing that comes to my head is purification. Oh shit, something like purification is happening. How is it happening? Why is it happening? What's the intention behind this? I have no idea. Later that day, I go on my Facebook and this person, like the first post I see, okay, post a picture of snow in New York in April. And his caption said, every time I go to New York, I'm always welcomed with snow. So it's like the universe does this thing where it wants you to like pick up on its clues. It kind of feels like Blue's Clues. Like, figure out the clues and figure out what we're trying to tell you. And I say we, I just mean I feel like there's a lot of forces happening. I don't, you know, like something is trying to communicate something. I started studying numerology, more specifically after I left Christianity. Every person has a numerical vibration per year, and it goes according to your birth date. So you need your month, your day, and your year. And if you want to know what your numerical vibration is for the year of 2026, I would just say go to Google, type it in, and type in what is my year vibration number according to numerology. Even use ChatGPT, it'll break it down for you. But with every year comes individual months that has a number per month within that year. I hope I'm making sense. So the month of April for me is a nine number. 9 means completion. 9 means the ending of a chapter. It means rebirth, because after 9, May is gonna be number 1, which means new beginnings. Snow also represents death and rebirth. You know, winter before spring. It just so happens to be in alignment with the season that we're in, which is spring. And as you can see, I'm wearing my sweater. I'm freezing. It's really cold, but spring is here, like it's around the corner. So that aligns with like what I'm going through internally and spiritually. Like many things have come up in the month of March preparing me for the month of April. And it's all relationship based. Like, how do I show up authentically? That has been the theme for me. And I've been doing lots of meditations on this. And I've done shedding. And when I say shedding, spiritually, when you shed, you are letting things out. You are crying about it. You're writing about it. You're meditating on it. That's shedding. The snow to me represents like, okay, you are currently going through a period of shedding. You're going through a period of like rebirth. And this is the purification period, moving into the next month of May. Right now, I am at a crossroads. Right now, I'm in the unknown, because we're projected to move to Los Angeles, right? To move closer to her aunt, but I haven't had a job opportunity yet. And I'm 4 weeks away from my current contract ending. So now, like, I have that ego, the body that's saying, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We don't have a job yet, like, oh. And then spirit is saying, relax. It's saying, chill out, right? And it's just, which one am I gonna honor? In conclusion, with all of the events that I shared with you guys, I just hope that I painted the picture of how magical the universe really is. And after that whole experience with my meditation in March of 2025, I feel like something inside of me cracked open, and now I am more attuned to this thing that's responding to me. And when I say thing, I mean God, source. Big things are happening. I feel it. And anybody can do this. If you want to experience the magic of the universe, the first place to start is inside. And that's going inside. That's meditating. That's emptying your mind so you can start receiving. Another part of meditation that a lot of people don't really talk about, and maybe I'll make a separate video for this, meditation isn't just one thing. There's times where I sit down and I meditate and it's just nothing but thoughts, right? Thoughts from my subconscious. It's things that I don't really pay attention to, but the moment you sit in silence, they just come up. A part of meditation is just watching those thoughts and seeing like, okay, what's running in the background? What's happening? And it can be a very loud meditation. And when I say loud, I mean your mind is talking, it's chattering a lot. But you get to shed light on, okay, what's happening in the background? You get to investigate it. And you get to see like what's happening and what is being created from the inside out. As within, so without, right? Not to get on a tangent or whatever, but I just wanted to share my experience of what I think happened in March of 2025. I think my heart opened. And that love that I experienced opened something up. It must have cracked the veil or something, because I feel I can distinguish the universe talking to me versus my mind. Like, I don't know, something changed, and I have so many more stories to tell. And I know I don't upload frequently on this channel because life has been super busy. Yeah, I just hope that this was encouraging. Like, if you want to get started on your spiritual journey, it's not a fake thing. This stuff is real, guys. Like, the story of the snow and all of that happening in one day, like, how much louder can the universe get? The unconditional love I experienced, and the laughing and the crying and the information about people in my life, like, how much louder can God get, right? Especially once I switched from the perspective that God isn't outside looking down. God is inside looking out, and it's all around you. Like, this stuff is so real. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, check out my channel. I have plenty of stories, and I'll also link me and my partner's channel about our RV experience and how we're adapting to California. It's just been super magical. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.